Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude, Pascal.
What's up, everybody? Good evening. Hopefully you guys are all doing well out there. There's something that has just kind of popped up and it has been brought to my attention, and it all revolves around the Kei'Mani Latigue situation. And the thing is that there's a lot of questions I got, and one of the main questions I asked in the live that we did this afternoon. One of the main questions was, hey, was there any red flags? Were there any warning signs? And if there were, did the teachers, did the school, did the people around her ever do anything to try to protect and help this little girl? Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Kei'Mani Latigue, she was 13 years old. She was ended up being found in an abandoned house after her biological father took advantage, SA'd her, and brutally attacked her in so many terrible, terrible ways. And if you guys don't know anything about it, please go and check out my previous video, my live talking about this. But one thing that was for sure, we heard in one of the videos, one of the multitude of videos that came out revolving around this from the news, that one of the teachers said that they saw markings on her body when she was alive, and that she eventually, after that reporting, got moved from one place to another. And so there's some pieces that I'm still trying to understand precisely. She went from one guardian to another guardian, and I'm wondering how far back was that, seeing those markings on her body, because from what I understand, her grandmother has been basically keeping watch on her, and now just recently in the last year became got custody and became a guardian of Kei'Mani Latigue.
Well, Kaylee, Jeff, they say they tried to sound the alarm and it fell on deaf ears. I spoke to a classmate of Kei'Mani's who says she tried to tell a teacher, and I spoke to a teacher who says she tried to tell CSB. In both instances, the person they tried to help is now gone.
She came to school with bruises on her arms.
That's 7th grader Imani Fisher, a classmate of Kei'Mani's from her most recent school, Spring Elementary. Fisher says she would often see Kei'Mani come into class with visible markings, so she and other students decided to say something to a teacher.
She said she would deal with it, but I don't think nothing happened.
TPS representatives say they have no records of abuse against Kei'Mani to either CSB or TPD. But it's also not the first time someone has raised concerns about what was going on inside Latigue's home. Kayleen Harabedian was her 6th grade English teacher at Bennett Venture Academy, the last school she attended before spring. Harabedian says she also spotted visible markings and bruises on Kei'Mani.
It's hard because, especially in a role like education, your day doesn't end at 3:30. You take these things home with you. They weigh on you. I'm a parent myself, and I tried my best to make sure that she was removed from that environment.
Harabedian claims she put in multiple calls to CSB. Kei'Mani's grandmother and legal guardian Dorothy Latigue says they did come knocking on her door, but she denies there was any abuse in the home.
I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy. And they came in, they did a case study, and closed it. They've stated there's a way to chastise children without physically harming them, and you need to whoop them on their behind, nowhere else. So, okay, with that in mind, I knew that.
What's interesting about this is, again, we hear teachers say out loud they saw markings on her body. And then, of course, that sparked some concerns and everything. And I'm wondering how far back that was. Was it within this year, the last few weeks, whatever it may be? That's one thing I'm still trying to understand fully. Okay. But now we're starting to get more information from the teachers. The teachers are now speaking out, and they've been posting things on Facebook. And I wanted to get out here and talk to you guys about these things, because, again, for me, it's aggravating me a little bit, because it shows that there is a history. There was a history. Apparently, she was crying out. They say that she was literally crying out, okay? That she was speaking out, saying that she was in a very bad environment. And I keep wondering, I know there's only so much teachers can do, But I keep wondering, what about CPS? What about the social worker that was moving this child from one home from one guardian to the next? What is actually going on here, and why didn't the system protect this little girl? So let's take a look at this, because again, there's something about this that just seems a little bit odd. Of course, now we're hearing things from posts from teachers, etc. Now, of course, we got to take this with a grain of salt, because anybody can act like their teacher and just write something, just to stir the pot. But at the same time, it is something that's very interesting nonetheless, and I feel like these should be investigated for sure. Because then at the same time, before we go into these, at the same time, you got to remember, this could also be a foreshadowing or a heads up or a red flag about the grandma too. Think about that too, because it makes you wonder, who are the bad people? Clearly, Darnell Jones, who is the biological father of Kei'Mani, is the one who is now in the hospital. Of course, he's obviously detained. He is the suspect. He apparently admitted to viciously SAing her and unaliving her as well. We know about him now, but I'm wondering if she was just in a pool full and surrounded by nothing but sharks. Is that possible? Again, like I said, I'm still trying to understand this case just like anybody else. And as we get more information, it starts to make you wonder what actually is going down here, and how did this just fly under the radar for so long? Was she getting passed from one, vicious household or guardian to the next? Is the grandmother, the one that was her sole guardian, so having full custody over her, should she be looked at right now? Those are the questions that should be answered as well, right? But let's take a look at these. Like I said, we got to take a look at this. This is just eating away at me. I was thinking about this, and I just feel like we need to take a look at some of these posts. So here's one that says here, apparently this is somebody that was there, saying, I'm not okay. I tried so hard to get her removed from this environment. Sweet baby, my heart is broken. The system is broken. I am sick, but mostly just sad. I enjoyed being able to teach her, give her a hug or give her a hug every single morning she came into the school, because that was all she ever wanted. Her friends tried. I tried. The school staff tried. No one listened. They wouldn't allow her to have a voice, and now she's gone. Thank you to Toledo's Children's Services for your lack of effing care for these children. Now, from my understanding, that must be one of the teachers, okay, or one of the school staff that was involved in all of this situation. Again, I hate to ask a million times over, but hey, is this a situation where it was just completely, this was completely ignored? Again, what's up with the system? What's up with what's up with this? It just doesn't make any sense. Again, I was her teacher. This is the same post from the same person saying she is her teacher. She told us she didn't feel safe. She told us she was terrified to go home. We all saw the marks, etc., on her body. I made multiple reports to CPS trying to get her the help she desperately needed to keep her safe. All of our voices were left unheard. CPS should be held accountable. We told them over and over again. I mean, like I said, you see stuff like this, it just makes you wonder what the hell is really going on here and why it's going down the way it went down. Okay. Again, why? I can't help but keep asking that question. Is there something really going on here that we don't know about? Again, with this teacher making that statement, basically saying, "Hey, we tried to get somebody to speak. We tried to get her some refuge. We tried to help her get away from this craziness." When did that happen? When were you trying to do that? I'm just asking for timeline's sake. Was this 3 years ago? Was this just yesterday? Just a few days before she went missing and, of course, lost her life. When did all of this transpire? Okay, because again, if it was before her grandmother became a guardian, that's one thing. It'd be a different thing if it was while she was a guardian and she was still terrified for her life. That's a big problem. And the fact that she was speaking out, allegedly, according to this teacher at least, that she was speaking out, that's a huge problem as well. The fact that no one did anything, massive issues here, guys. And I said it before, the system can be a good thing and it can also be a terrible thing. And right now we're seeing that this could possibly have been a terrible, terrible situation for this young girl. We hear countless times of these young individuals getting thrown into the system, and some are lucky. Some find a good home, a good guardian, good parental units, parental guidance. And then others, majority, a lot of them we see get thrown in the system and get screwed over. They go from one bad guardian to the next, to the next, to the next, to the point where they're old enough to fend for themselves, and then they're not in the system anymore. And then all bad things happen from there too. And now we're seeing this situation where this young girl was screaming out, allegedly, was crying out. And I'll show you guys that post one more again. Okay? Was crying out, literally crying out. And her teachers tried saving her and still nothing. That is just absolutely insane to me, guys. So now I have more questions than answers more than ever. Yes, she has been found. Yes, we know who the culprit is. But was this a group effort? Was this a community of people making her life a living hell? That's something I still feel needs to get answered here as soon as possible. Again, the grandmother could be absolutely a saint. She could be. But at the same time, why was she crying out? Only because of Darnell Jones? And if it was only because of Darnell Jones, did the grandma know? And why wouldn't the grandma do something about keeping that man as far away from that girl as far as possible? Why not call the cops? Has there been any reports of those things? You see what I'm saying? There's just something that just doesn't fit or sit right on my heart here. And something's weird. If you got teachers that are literally saying that they were going out of their way to try to protect her and nothing actually happened, that's weird. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, something's just not right here. Something's not right. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping that we start to get down to the bottom of it. Is it literally an environment of just monsters at bay around her? Was she just surrounded by violence and DV and, CA and all that stuff as well, SA, etc., or not? I wish we hear some more things from more teachers here in the very near future. And again, I'm hoping that law enforcement does exactly what they need to do, because if they only have one person, there's supposed to be more people locked up right now, then they need to get to moving on that as soon as possible. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. We'll talk very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.